So, right here, Chicago Sky's Angel Reese sounds off about entitlement. And I was like, what is she going to be talking about here? She's deciding to call the fans entitled. Unbelievable.
Angel Reese is back in the spotlight, but not because of anything she's done with a basketball. Nope, this time it's her mouth doing the dribbling, and people are left completely baffled. She's out here demanding superstar-level money while acting like she's above any form of critique. Talk about petty. It's like she wants the paycheck of a franchise player, but none of the responsibility that comes with it. So you really have to ask, is Angel trying to play elite-level basketball, or is she just playing make-believe royalty? This seems to be a complete 180 to how the real superstar, Caitlin Clark, treats the fans. If you're a CC fan, comment it down below. Let's go.
Reese is giving terrible advice to potential fans and followers. Absolutely. This league is claiming it wants to be popular and it wants to generate interest. And you've got an actual player, supposed to be the supposed second most popular player in the league, crapping all over fans that have taken an interest in players.
Before you brush it off as a one-time gaffe, let's be clear, this wasn't some offhand comment. What Reese just said might actually be one of the biggest obstacles standing in the way of the WNBA's next level of growth. That's why the real question becomes this: is Angel Reese actually advocating for real change in women's basketball, or is she just generating chaos and calling it activism? Stick around, because once you hear the full story, you'll finally say out loud, so that's what's really going on here.
Y'all be feeling too entitled, thinking y'all's opinions matter about someone else's life instead of minding your own business. I promise you win at life when you just live your own life and mind your own business. I promise. I don't give a rat about that. That statement right there.
Now here's where it gets wild. Angel Reese doesn't even hold a single official title within the WNBA Players Association. She's not part of the union's leadership. She isn't even part of the negotiating team. Yet, here she is on social media making loud, sweeping statements about potential strikes as if she speaks for the entire player body. Essentially, she's treating herself like the voice of the WNBA despite not having any of the actual responsibilities or roles that come with it. Just imagine being a seasoned union rep working through serious discussions, and then you hear a rookie trying to hijack the message with half-baked threats on a public platform.
The ones coming this year will still be on the rookie contract again. The ones the year after, they gonna get more. They probably gonna be making more than us.
No, they are.
Who's that?
I'm hurt.
They are. Like, yeah. I've been in the meetings. They are.
I need to get in the. I need to get in the field.
You need to come to the meeting.
I gotta get in the meetings because I'm hearing like, yeah, they don't give us. If y'all don't give us what we want, like, we sitting out.
That's a possibility for real.
Women's basketball has been clawing for recognition for years, and now that it's finally earning the spotlight it deserves, the headlines are being hijacked by drama. Angel Reese recently made waves by claiming that she, personally, is the reason for the sport's current surge in popularity. While the WNBA should be basking in a collective moment of growth, Reese is out here making it all about herself. She's less interested in lifting the game and more concerned with whether the limelight is hitting her directly in the face. Instead of celebrating unity and progress, she's busy turning the conversation into a personal power struggle. And the fans, they're exhausted. While the league tries to build a future, Angel is out here swinging a wrecking ball.
What are we doing here? These players in this league do not want this league to grow. Again, they want it to grow under their circumstances only. Women's basketball is finally getting attention, and now that it's getting attention, it's not the right kind of attention. Cry me a river. I mean, really, what are we doing here?
Here's the actual issue. Angel wasn't criticized for having an opinion. She was called out for how she reacted to the response. At the professional level, scrutiny comes with the job. The more attention the league gets, the more people are going to voice their opinions. That's just how it works. But rather than embracing this as part of being a public figure, Angel doubled down, lashing out at the critics as though they had no right to comment. That reaction? It did far more damage than the criticism itself. In elite sports, real stars rise under pressure. They don't crack when the spotlight intensifies. Angel Reese needs to realize that with influence comes expectation. And only those who embrace that reality, not run from it, will thrive.
This is wild. This is a wild statement. You are a professional athlete. You are in the limelight. You have chosen to put yourself out there, which means you are open to criticism, and you're open to hearing things you aren't going to like about your play, about how you conduct yourself, all of it. It is part of being a celebrity, a sports star, whatever. There's no amount of, well, we're going to call it online hate. Nah, it's criticism.
All eyes are now on the matchup everyone's talking about: Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky. On one side, you have Caitlin Clark. The generational phenom fans can't wait to watch. On the other, Angel Reese, the walking controversy who always seems one comment away from a headline. This isn't just a game, it's a spectacle. It's the clash of two brands. One built on performance, the other on provocation. Add the anticipation surrounding Caitlin's return, and it's no surprise that analysts are forecasting over 3 million viewers. This isn't just a WNBA game, it's a litmus test for the league's future.
She believes a new record would be set. Quote, first, it's the Fever versus the Chicago Sky. Wonder why they did that, Bird said. We have not seen Caitlin Clark play in a long time, okay? And it's against Angel Reese. So my guess, we're going to see like 3+ million viewers, which I'm sure will smash some kind of a record. Interesting.
But beyond the ratings, this matchup is symbolic. Caitlin Clark represents the kind of stardom built on action. She shows up, does her job, and elevates the team around her. Angel, on the other hand, has become synonymous with noise. Her narrative is driven more by confrontation than contribution. And when these two players step on the same court, the contrast will be impossible to ignore. Just when it seemed like things couldn't get messier, Angel made another questionable move, publicly labeling fans as entitled. Yep, that happened. Instead of embracing the very people who are helping push women's basketball to new heights, she decided to scold them. You'd think someone who constantly says she wants to grow the game would, try to keep the people who actually watch the games on her side. But no, Reese took aim at the growing fan base, the very wave that's keeping the league afloat right now.
Reese has recently been in the headlines for threatening a potential strike in the WNBA if negotiations during the next CBA don't go as players hope. Reese thinks women in the WNBA deserve higher pay. Some fans are afraid to strike. A strike could hurt the momentum the WNBA has built in popularity. When Reese and Caitlin Clark entered the league, it will kill this league. It will kill it. If they go on strike, it's a wrap.
This isn't just about bad PR, it's about the message it sends. In pro sports, your relationship with fans is everything. Gratitude isn't optional, it's part of the job. When you alienate the audience, you don't just damage your brand, you put the league's momentum at risk. At the very moment when women's basketball is finally capturing hearts, Reese is busy burning bridges. And then came the cherry on top, her casual threat of a strike. At the very time the WNBA is starting to catch fire, Angel Reese is already talking about walking away from the court if her pay demands aren't met. Let's be clear, no one's saying players don't deserve more. But choosing this moment when the league is finally drawing eyes and headlines to float the idea of a lockout. That's reckless. Caitlin Clark and other rising stars are working tirelessly to build momentum, while Angel seems more interested in pulling the emergency brake. One wrong move at this stage could derail everything.
Reese uses her platform on social media and her podcast, Unapologetically Angel, to publicly espouse those beliefs. Reese recently suggested that she's different in person. Quote, the funniest thing people say to me is, wow, you're so nice in person. It's crazy the way you're portrayed online. I just laughed and say, yeah, I did a video about that. And you know what? A lot of fans said, you know what? We don't believe anybody ever told you that. Sorry. And look, you know what that is? That's a fan's opinion, and they can have it.
Meanwhile, Angel is trying to flip the narrative on her podcast, Unapologetically Angel, insisting that she's actually misunderstood. According to her, she's way more likable in person and the public has simply misjudged her. But here's the thing. When the general reaction is, "No one ever told you that," it says a lot. It speaks to a credibility issue, a trust gap that words alone won't fix. In today's digital world, public image isn't shaped by what you say. It's shaped by how you consistently act. You can't just declare you're misunderstood and expect the world to nod in agreement. You have to show it. Angel wants to control her image, but the reality is this. The people watching, the fans reading, and the cameras rolling, those are what shape how you're seen. And right now, the version of Angel Reese the public sees isn't matching the one she's trying to sell.
In a post on X Wednesday, Reese promised her followers that they'd be better off minding their own business. Wow. Would they be better off turning the TV off when your game is on? I mean, I wonder. I'm starting to wonder, hey, would we be better off turning the TV off when you're on? See what happens to them good old ratings? It doesn't matter if you're not playing Caitlin Clark. Nobody's watching you anyway.
Angel Reese seems to be towing a risky line, continuously making statements that come off as dismissive toward her supporters. Telling fans to mind their own business might seem like tough love if framed constructively, but in this case, it felt more like a slap to the face of the very people who help fuel the league. There's one crucial point she appears to have overlooked. Her livelihood, platform, and public presence all exist thanks to the people who buy tickets, tune into broadcasts, and keep the WNBA thriving. If fans really did mind their business and stopped watching when she played, those prized ratings would vanish in an instant. And let's be honest, the bulk of those viewers are showing up for matchups featuring Caitlin Clark. Without those, Reese's individual draw would hardly make a blip. In pro sports, the fans aren't just background noise. They're the entire engine. Insult them, and you're cutting off the fuel to your own future.
This league is claiming it wants to be popular, and it wants to generate interest. And you've got an actual player, supposed to be the supposed second most popular player in the league, crapping all over fans that have taken an interest in players. As part of that, you're going to get positive feedback and negative feedback. That's life. That's life. As a sports player especially.
Reese has only pushed further away from fans through harsh comments and an aggressive stance against public feedback. Saying she doesn't care about opinions and doubling down on her mind your business mantra shows not just disrespect, but a fundamental misunderstanding of what it means to thrive in professional sports. Athletes don't exist in a vacuum. Their careers are directly tied to the public, through reactions, criticism, and yes, praise too. You don't have to agree with every tweet, but dismissing the audience entirely tears down the very bridge you need to cross to remain relevant.
The more interest she receives from public, good or bad, the more publicity the WNBA receives. The more publicity the WNBA receives, the more money she stands to make on her next contract. Absolutely.
The bigger your platform, the thicker your skin needs to be. The spotlight comes with pressure, and that pressure includes opinions from all directions. Shoving fans away doesn't give you peace. It just creates distance, isolation, and ultimately, irrelevance in a game that never pauses for those who lose public favor.
It's unbelievable, folks. Mind your own business, fans. I know you're sports fans, and I know we're in the public, but don't criticize us. We want you to keep your opinion to yourselves. And what is so wild about hearing this, we've heard this kind of thing from other WNBA players. In a struggling league that unless Caitlin Clark plays, there is no attendance, there is no ratings, there is no gate revenue. She is the only factor that's moving the needle.
In reality, Angel Reese is unknowingly becoming a hurdle to the exact progress the WNBA is striving for, growing its fan base and expanding its mainstream appeal. When one of the most visible young players in the league decides to push back against the very audience supporting her, it sends a message that can unravel all the league's hard work. Instead of bringing people in, she's giving them reasons to walk away. In professional leagues, a star's image isn't just their own. It reflects on the entire brand. Every tweet, Every interview, every public statement becomes part of a larger picture. If that picture drives fans off, it's not just a personal hit. It's a ripple effect that damages everyone around you, including the league itself.
Yeah, it's amazing to me. They don't want to grow. Again, they wanted to grow their league to a minute portion of the population. They never wanted regular sports fans to come in and start watching this league. Because you know what regular sports fans do? We run our mouth about all sports. NFL and the players in it right now, NBA players, Major League Baseball players, they all get criticized. They all get crushed. If you want to make big money, well, you better have some thick skin at some point.
What's ironic is that Reese doesn't seem to grasp that this growing spotlight on the WNBA is her biggest opportunity. Every new viewer brings in more money, more brand deals, and bigger platforms. That means more income, more leverage, and more chances for players like Reese to cash in. By alienating fans, she's not just clashing with the audience. She's blocking her own path to the financial rewards and long-term stability she says she wants. In the end, professional sports is a business, and popularity is its currency. Angel Reese is standing at a pivotal moment. She can either be remembered as a major driver of the WNBA's growth, or the loudest reason it hit a wall.
The Liberty and Aces, they're going to clash here 3 times. All 3 of those are on ABC and ESPN. The Fever and the Sky, they meet 5 times. Caitlin Clark, the revamped Fever, they look to build on their success.
There have been 6 teams that have changed venues when the Indiana Fever come to play. All of these arenas are selling out.
While Reese is being salty with fans, the reality is this. Caitlin Clark is carrying the league's visibility like it's a gym bag. The WNBA knows it. The fans know it. Even the haters like Reese secretly know it. That's why nearly every one of Clark's games is being broadcast worldwide. Because whether you're a fan, a critic, or a bitter rival trying to pretend you're not watching, you are watching. Caitlin Clark is must-see TV. And this isn't just about basketball anymore. This is business. The WNBA has spent years trying to break into the mainstream, fighting for viewers, ticket sales, and attention. Now they have a walking highlight reel doing all that and more, and she's only just getting started.
Sigh, I miss the unrivaled already. They're mad. Caitlin Clark didn't play in that league. They want her out. They want you fans out of the league.
Angel Wilson's talking about sitting out for more money. Meanwhile, the Indiana Fever, hey, we're putting every game on TV for Caitlin Clark. Everybody wants to watch her.
This is the year that they want to do whatever they possibly can to show that they deserve more and also be profitable.
One of the worst WNBA fans and one of CC's biggest haters is already complaining. They don't like the game of basketball at all. They just want to support Reese. I've said the majority of her fans are not Hoops fans.
Let's kick things off with the receipts. Before Caitlin Clark's arrival, the Indiana Fever was basically the WNBA's version of a clearance rack team, there but rarely picked up. Fast forward, and now they're the hottest show in sports. Last season, the Fever pulled over 340,000 fans through the gates at home games, a mind-boggling 319% increase from the year before. We're talking about a team that couldn't get 80,000 fans total in 2023. Now they're stacking attendance like it's playoff time every night. And the best part? It's not just Indiana. It's everywhere.
More people are getting on board. More people are watching women's basketball. More people are watching women's college basketball. Do not slow the momentum because of ego.
Caitlin Clark draws massive viewership and other teams don't. Caitlin Clark averaged about 1.2 million viewers per game and the rest of the league about 400 to 500,000.
This isn't hype. This is economics. Teams know that hosting the Fever isn't just another game. It's a payday. Bigger venues mean more fans, more merchandise, more concessions, more revenue. And that extra cash? It helps build a stronger, healthier league. Caitlin Clark isn't just growing the game, she's helping fund the future of it.
6 WNBA networks set ratings records this season, all Caitlin Clark. 23 WNBA games drew more than 1 million viewers. Clark played in 20 of them.
And don't even get us started on merch. Caitlin's jersey didn't just top the charts, it obliterated them. She outsold every player in the league combined. That's not a fluke, that's a phenomenon. Thanks to Clark, the Indiana Fever has gone from being a team only locals knew about to one of the top-selling franchises in all of women's sports. She's not just a player, she's a brand.
The WNBA Draft and All-Star Game demolished their viewership records with Caitlin Clark. The Diana Taurasi draft drew 600,000. It was the most watched draft ever. Caitlin Clark's draft drew nearly 2.5 million. 374% increase of viewership. Fever quadrupled ticket sales after drafting Clark. Washington and Indiana set the single game attendance record of 20,711 on September 19 Capital One Arena. The WNBA's average attendance last year was 9,807 fans, up 48%. And keep in mind, that was really one person that added those 3,000 fans on average.
Let's talk real numbers. Fever games accounted for half of the WNBA's national TV revenue last season. Half. One team, one rookie. League-wide attendance jumped 48%. And more WNBA games passed the 1 million viewer mark in 2024 alone than in the previous 2 decades combined. What's the common denominator across all of this? Caitlin Elizabeth Clark.
Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever schedule has come out. We now know how many national games they got. The Indiana Fever is America's team, but the old WNBA fans are furious over it. They're mad. They're crying.
This is exactly what fans and players have been begging for. Visibility, sold-out games, big TV deals. And now that it's actually happening, some folks are suddenly uncomfortable, curious. The only reason the WNBA has become must-see TV overnight is because Caitlin Clark is the show. She's not just participating in this league, she's reprogramming it. So the only question left isn't, will Caitlin Clark dominate? She already is. The only question is, how far is this going to go? Because if the first chapter is anything to go by, this story's just getting started. If you're a CC fan, comment it down below. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.